We are only about a month away from the Switch 2's release, and one of the best things that they announced that a lot of people are excited for is GameCube Online. We've already been informed of a bunch of titles that's coming to the GameCube Online already, but my question to you and everyone out there is, what GameCube games do you hope to see on the Nintendo Switch 2? And is it something you're looking forward to? What's good, everybody? It's Blue Satire, and today we're going to talk about the games that I would love to see on Nintendo Online for the GameCube. And the GameCube, if you don't know, if you haven't been here before, is one of my favorite systems of all time. The Switch took over the spot of number one, but number two is GameCube. I had a lot of fun memories because there was a lot of good games on the GameCube. I think Nintendo was at its peak era when it came to creativity, fun, and doing something strange and something different. So I really want to see some games come to GameCube Online, and luckily a lot of games already that I wanted to see are already announced, but I got some for you that I haven't seen yet. And there might be some that's a stretch, some I probably never will see, but also why not dream and believe, because that's what we do as Nintendo fans, right? Especially if it's gonna cost all this. Anywho, make sure you like and subscribe and let me know in the comment section what GameCube game are you excited to see and which one that hasn't been announced that you hope will be there for you when you get your Switch 2. Starting the video off, I want to start with Star Fox Adventures and Star Fox Assault. I'm cheating, I'm putting both of them in the same spot. But my main reason for Star Fox Adventures is because I think a lot of people did not give this game a chance. And honestly, when you look at it, it's like you're playing Star Fox, but it's The Legend of Zelda. And the thing is, back in the GameCube era, I feel like every game that came out was like reinventing itself from another game series Nintendo had and making it their own. Star Fox Adventures is one of those games. We were used to being in that ship. We were used to the ship gameplay in space, the dogfights, the linear game path play that you can replay over and over again. We didn't expect to get this third-person perspective game of Fox with this staff that's pretty cool. In my opinion, Star Fox Adventure was actually pretty fun, but also maybe I need to check it out again to see what people was thinking. And maybe this game needs a second chance to be played again so people can understand why they didn't like it, or maybe people just didn't understand it at the time. And this would be a good time for Star Fox Adventure to come back and get some fresh eyes on it, or maybe just revisit it as an older person. Either way, I think the game's story was good and it introduced some cool characters, but the other game on this list, if you wanted the aerial assault, the ship battles, things like that, is Star Fox Assault, and it's one of my favorite Star Fox games. It was very, very fun for me, and it kind of kept that same formula that Star Fox 64 had, but with better visuals and better voice acting, which was already kind of good. Albeit it was a little shorter, and I feel like 64 had more gameplay to it. Still, Star Fox Assault was fun for me because you could also get off foot again with Fox, and you had the blast, you had different weapons. The Land Rover, Landmaster, I didn't like that. But the ship battles and the on-foot battles and exploring the bases and things like that was very fun. Wolf was cool. Wolf was so cool to me. Everybody that was in that game was cool. And just seeing that again, I really want people to play that, because maybe if we get Star Fox Assault, maybe they will work on a new Star Fox that people have been begging for. But I don't know. But the next game on my list is a stretch because it's Kirby Air Ride. And the reason I think it's a stretch is because we're getting a new Kirby Air Ride. We just got the announcement that we're getting a new one in 2025. So would Nintendo really want to bring this game back when we get a new one? And honestly, I wouldn't mind it, because especially if it comes out sooner rather than later, to give us a taste of what people can expect for Kirby Air Riders when it drops. I recently played Kirby Air Ride with some friends, and it still holds up today. It is very fun. And with 4-player split screen, and you can play online with friends, I think it'll be a good game to hold people over. Also, just a good game in general, because who knows how they're gonna treat Kirby Air Riders. There may be something very different from what we played as kids, and make it a reason to have both of these on the system. But let me know in the comment section if you ever played Kirby Air Ride, because it's very fun and unique. Y'all want to know a wild game that really deserves to be seen again? I think some people missed out on, especially if you're a horror fan or a psychological thriller fan. Eternal Darkness. When I tell you that game was trippy, I set that game back to Blockbuster when I played it, because nope, you're not about to be getting my controller and moving it by itself. You're not about to make me think my memory card got deleted. Nope. This was a different type of game, y'all. But the story was good. It was creepy for the time. and it really broke the fourth wall. I think a lot of people would enjoy this. Even if you don't enjoy it, I just want people to see this game for themselves. I want to see this content on Twitch or something. I want to see people playing this game and find out what we found out a long time ago. Now let's get into some classics that everybody talks about, that everybody wants to see and has been begging for years, because this is when the series was at its best. And I'm talking about these two GameCube games here. Mario Kart Double Dash. Will we actually see Double Dash? Especially because that $80 Mario Kart is a release title and one that's setting itself to be one that's important for Nintendo Switch too. I don't know, but Mario Kart Double Dash was fun because it was different. We actually had 2 races, and all these races had their own special ability, and that's what Baby Park was. You know, we saw that diabolical map, but it was just a fun time and different. And seeing that and being able to play that online with 4 people in 2025, 26 and beyond would be very fun. But will they actually do it? I don't know. And is Mario Kart as fun as y'all remember? Let me know in the comment section, because I actually like the Mario Karts after Double Dash, but I also love Double Dash because it was different. And you know I can't talk about Mario Kart Double Dash and hits that people want without this one. Get your deodorant, because Super Smash Bros. Melee is one that everybody still wants because it's still played today. And what would make it easier and more accessible is putting it on Switch Online with multiplayer so that people can play this game natively. But will that happen? We still don't even know what Smash Bros. Will be getting on the Switch 2. We don't know if a reboot is coming. We don't know if we're getting a port of Ultimate. So why not put a Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube Classics? Because the people are getting musty for it and want it right now. I don't know. This is one of those games that Nintendo be trying to back away from because their community kind of toxic. But a lot of people love Super Smash Bros. Melee, and it was a good time, and I love the game as well. Can't even hide from it. It was a great time, a great memory, and a lot of people fell in love with Smash Bros. With this game alone. And a lot of legends were born, and a lot of people saw their favorite characters, and a lot of Nintendo characters that we didn't know about today appeared there. Now, when I say we, I'm talking about people in America, because, you know, they didn't know what Fire Emblem was back then. I did, but I ain't nobody. But let's take a break real quick and get you some honorable mentions, because these games are from companies outside that had a big presence, and I don't know if we will actually get them, but I would love to see it. First, let's talk about Sega. This is coming from a time where Sega bowed out of the console game and having a bunch of their Dreamcast games and new IPs coming to GameCube, PS2, Xbox, and all of that. But a lot of Dreamcast games were better, in my opinion, on the GameCube. But what about games like Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2? That's a long shot, but did y'all know the GameCube had internet back then? Yeah. And Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 had so much content, and a lot of people loved that game. I think I actually seen the homie President Noir play this game recently. And Phantasy Star Online right now has a good following, but going back in time and playing that one would be dope. But then we got to go to the next game that everybody loves. Everybody said this is the classic. It's probably the best Sonic they ever played. And that's Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I would love to see Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the Switch, but the thing about that is it's already available in multiple places for like $5. So if you really wanted to play it, you could, but I would love to see it on the GameCube Online for Nintendo fans and for handheld purposes. But also that multiplayer 4v4, you know, I just want to see it there because that was one of my favorite Sonics back then. Did it age well? No. But did I love it? Yes. And give us, I need that garden. I need that Child Baby Chaos, baby, whatever you call it, baby, garden right now. A big slept on gem that I would love to see a sequel to, or just see this game again, is Billy the Hatcher and the Giant Egg. And Team Sonic made this game, and when I tell you this game was fun, it's a 3D platforming game where you gotta roll around eggs, hatch them, and defeat these crows. And it's pretty fun. The platforming was different. You over here slam dunking eggs, throwing eggs, slam dashing, shooting eggs. It was very creative, and it was 72 different eggs and very unique designs. And it was a fun time, and it was, again, in this creative era of the GameCube, or just gaming, period. And Billy the Hatcher, I think, would do great to be seen today. But my main game, and y'all hear me talk about this game all the time if you know me, Skies of Arcadia Legend. And this is one of those games that I said was better when it came to the GameCube, because if you play it on Dreamcast, you can kind of hear when you was about to get that random battle because it happened every 2 seconds. But also the GameCube version eliminated that. random battles still happen a lot, but not as much as they did then. But also they added new things, new bounties, new people. Like it was a lot. It was a expanded version. And Skies of Arcadia was like one of my first pirate games. It was Sky Pirates at that. So if you like that was at the time, that was my One Piece game. And the characters were great, the story was great, the turn-based battle system, the systems that people said we don't get no more. The turn-based battle system was fun. The ship building your crew, recruiting people. It was a good game. The music was fire. And I still want to see Skies of Arcadia today. Now, will we get this on GameCube Online? I don't know, because we might actually be getting this game again in the future because Sega has asked about it, but I would love to see it. And for some more honorable mentions, let's go to Capcom, because Capcom really supported GameCube. I don't know if you heard about the Capcom 6, but that was things like Resident Evil and all that. But for now, I'll give you a couple games because all of them want all that, because I'll be here all day. But Mega Man X Command Mission I would love to see because it was different. It was a turn-based game with Mega Man X characters, and the graphics were fire, and they hold up well today, cel-shaded. The music was good, and the gameplay was a little different, but Mega Man X Command Mission was cool to me. And you know what? You might as well throw Mega Man Battle Network Transmission on there too, just because I can't get enough of Mega Man Battle Network. But the main Capcom game I want to see on here is Beautiful Joe. Y'all know Beautiful Joe was the one. Everyone talks about Beautiful Joe. They love Beautiful Joe. It was amazing. It was a great time. The cel-shaded graphics went well with the music, the gameplay style, the beat-em-up style of this game, and it was a lot of sauce, a lot of flavor in this game. It was very fun, and this was back when slow motion was cool, so you knew people dodging bullets, slow time, fast time. Like it was cool. It was action-based, pretty much a game that a lot of people remember because of how different it was and how flashy and colorful it was as well. It's something about using max speed and just beating up everybody on the screen, slowing down time, speeding up yourself. It was cool, and I would love to see Beautiful Joe again. That's a series that we all want to see. A comic's coming back, so who knows? We might see Beautiful Joe in the future. But in the meantime, put it on the GameCube Online for us, please. Come on, Capcom, go and work a deal out of something. Getting back to my list, let's jump into the cozy territory with Harvest Moon Magical Melody. We've seen remakes of these games, as we all know that Harvest Moon is now named Story of Seasons. If you don't know, I'm not about to give you that lecture today. But I would love to see Magical Melody back in our hands. That was one of everyone's favorite GameCube game because it had a bunch of characters from older games plus new games, and putting them in the same area. You had a rival named Jamie who was farming with you, and every time you wake up in the morning, they would go and brag how better they were than you. Having a rival in a Harvest Moon game was fire. It felt like I was playing Pokemon, but I was taking care of chickens and stuff. But it was a good game, but the festivals were fun. Being able to build your house wherever you want, moving your house, having multiple properties. It was a fun time, and I would love to see Magical Melody again on the GameCube Online. But also, hey, if you're gonna remake that like you made Friends in Mineral Town and A Wonderful Life and Grand Bazaar, Magical Melody is right there, and I need you to do it. Since we're talking about cozy, you know I can't leave out the OG Animal Crossing or Animal Forest from the N64. You know, y'all don't know about that. But Animal Crossing population growing on the GameCube was my first time into the Animal Crossing series, and it was a great time. Now, it's some things that, it improved over time, but there are still things in Animal Crossing that aren't present today, like playing those older Nintendo games or having that random ball in town that I can actually interact with, meeting in the square and having fun with everyone, doing Olympic type stuff, doing little relay races and tug of war with the villagers. I think this game would be great, especially to hold us over until we get a new Animal Crossing, especially with folks that are just yearning for Animal Crossing content after New Horizons didn't give us any after those 2-3 years. I think seeing the OG Animal Crossing would be great for advertising the next Animal Crossing, but also giving people something to play, and the people that love that franchise something to play, because we're not getting New Leaf no time soon, and I love New Leaf. I've been yapping, but there's only a couple more games left. And let's get into the territory of one of my favorite franchises of all time, and that's The Legend of Zelda. And the main one I know a lot of people want to see is Twilight Princess. And what's funny about Twilight Princess is that's the Zelda in that time era that everybody was looking for, hoping for, wanting. Because when they first announced the GameCube, they showed that mature-looking Link fighting Ganondorf, and then they announced Wind Waker, and everybody was like, what is this? I'm mad. not me. Wind Waker is one of my favorite, if not my favorite Zelda. But Twilight Princess is up there too because it was darker, it was more mature, it gave those Ocarina of Time feels, and the gameplay was just fun. The era was fun. Princess Zelda was cool. Ganondorf, everything about it. Midna was cool. It was a different version. Wolf Link was cool, and look, Okami came out around this time too, and I love both of them. But Twilight Princess is one that everybody would love to see, and we're already getting Wind Waker, so it only makes sense that Twilight Princess is coming too. But speaking of, here's one that you might not have had on your radar, and that's The Legend of Zelda: The Four Swords Adventures. And The Four Swords was a hit on the Game Boy Advance, but they made it even bigger on GameCube with The Four Swords Adventures with Toon Link and multiple Toon Links collecting money, fighting on the screen. You had to use the Game Boy Advance connectors to play on the same system, so maybe using GameCube Online would make this easier for people to play together. And I would love to play this game again with homies because Four Sword Adventures was fun. I got to play with my sister, but I would love to play with 3 other people as well. And Twilight Princess was fun, and Legend of Zelda's Four Swords Adventures was a different type of feel at the time, and I think it was needed, and I would love to see it on GameCube Online. Now, before we get to my final game, let me give you one more honorable mention, and most folks probably know what my final game is if you know me. But I want to talk about a game that did not come here in America that I'm really sad that we didn't get, because it also gives those Animal Crossing vibes, but it's also very, 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 very weird. Giftpia was a game that released in Japan in 2003, and unfortunately Nintendo canceled the localization of this game. Now there are people that worked on a translation patch, but truth be told, y'all, we not getting this game. But it would be a nice gesture to get a game we never got in America, because we've gotten some of those games on the eShop before. But for those who don't know what this game is, Giftpia is a game that follows a protagonist who, on the day of his coming of age ceremony, he overslept, he missed it, and now he locked up, and now he got to make 5 million, whatever they call it, monies, Mapo, whatever they call that money. And how does he do that? This is where it's similar to the games like Animal Crossing, where both games emphasize interacting with characters, going fishing, collecting bugs, doing jobs, and fulfilling wishes of people that's in the town. And there are a bunch of different characters who have their own schedules. And the thing about it, like I said, this game is weird. These characters are weird, but it's a lot of charm. The soundtrack is good, and it's just a good game that would give a lot of people something to do. I think Animal Crossing fans would probably like this game, or maybe not because of the way it looks, but it has that charm that people love in Animal Crossing games where you build relationships and you do things for people. And I would have loved to see Giftpia come over to the West, but I don't think we're getting that. But if you're watching, which you're probably not, please. Now, my last game is one of my favorite games on the GameCube, one that I still want to see a new game in this series because it was so fun to me, so different, and yet quite familiar to some people. Custom Robo was such a good game, especially the GameCube version. And for those who don't know, it's kind of like you had your mini Gundams and low-key Pokemon too. Like you had a Gundam, you threw them out of this little Coliseum and you fought other people. You can customize the parts. You can do so many things with these robots. They all had different type of styles. And I made a video about Custom Robo and wanting it back on the channel if y'all want to go back and watch that one. But when I tell y'all, Custom Robo would do so well on Nintendo GameCube Online as far as having something new to play. Being able to play that game with 4 people online would be great. And it's just one of those games that solidified how creative the GameCube, PS2, Xbox era was when it came to games. Custom Robo just was one of those games that sits with me from now. Like I still go back and play it to these days. And the creativity in customizing your robots, the gameplay, the action, the shooting, all of that was fun. And I would love to see that again on the GameCube Online, and hopefully love to see this game in the future. But that was the last game on my list. And honestly, I had to go ahead and stop because this video was already getting too long, because there are plenty of GameCube games I would love to see. Something I didn't even say, like I forgot about Odama, and y'all know about Odama. That was different. And since we got a microphone, that's like a pinball war game that used the microphone to bark orders. I know that said that was the last game, but I had to tell y'all about that one because that one was very weird. But put that on the GameCube Online. But let me know in the comment section, what GameCube games would you love to see on Nintendo Switch 2 for Nintendo Switch 2 Online? And did you like any of the games, or did you play any of the games that I talked about? What am I missing? What are you most excited for things that's already announced? And let me know in the comment section what type of other videos you want to see. And are you getting a Switch 2? Does it cost too much? Look, I get it, but I'm ready to see what they have for us. And GameCube again was one of my favorite consoles of all time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they put on this GameCube online. And I hope they make it worthwhile. Y'all have a good one, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.